Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make book page journals, mini journals, or book page flip down pockets, however you want to term these. There's so many different variations that most of you all know that there are that we could use with book pages. So these are just a couple little ideas. I did some decorating. These ones are done. So I'm going to make one with you, just construct the pocket journal, and then I'm going to decorate one with you today. So here is what they look like. So this one's basic. I ended up having to do extra layering for strengthening the page because I forgot to double page. You use 2 sheets of your book pages because it gives it a stronger envelope journal, which I forgot to do. So I ended up resurfacing these panels with extra pages. A little more work, but if you glue 2 together right off the hop, you don't have to do the extra layering. I lightly embellished because by the time I finished strengthening the panels, I wanted to get on to my next one and do some sewing. This one is a non-sewn one, as you can see. So basically you open it up and there's one pocket here, and this is a little signature for extra journaling sewn right into the bottom crease. And this is another pocket, and then it folds up and it folds down like this, and you flip it around, and then there's a back pocket. How cute is that, hey? And it's funny because I noticed this says this page was out of a cookbook and it says rum omelet. Before I realized that, I ended up putting in a Christmas, oh my goodness, calling words, recipe card. And it's, so I thought it was fitting to have the rum omelet, that it sits in the page of the rum omelet. Anyways, okay. And then I just used a wooden embellishment, and I put on a couple little dangles, heart keys. So anyhow, that's the one. This one has a signature, and this one does not. This one also has some sewn, I did some sewing in it as well. But it opens up the same. It has, this was from a bigger book. As you can see, the pages are wider. And so we've got a pocket down here. And I embellished the panels with some sewing theme offcuts. And here is another pocket with just a folded over offcut from this particular printable I used. So that's the flap panel. So if you're going to sew, you have to do all your sewing before you do any gluing, but I'll show you that. Here's some light collaging. I added some trim lace, and here's the back pocket. Did a bit of collaging. So, and I just put in a couple of cute sewing ephemera pieces, journaling cards. So that's that. Kind of cute. I like the big button. It's big enough so it kind of it keeps the flap pretty much flat, so that's nice. I didn't have to use any ties or anything. All right, so let's have a go at how to do this. I'm sure many of you have made these before. Like, I've done so many different book page projects, but this was kind of fun. Now, because this one's going to be a quick little how to construct, I didn't double the pages because I have one ready right here, and this is the one we're going to decorate together. It's a nice big one. So I'm going to put this aside, but this is how you're going to do it. So you take the one page. Now remember, you've double paged it, you've glued it down, and you've especially glued along the edge of your page. You glue 2 together. So just imagine this is 2 pages. And then you just fold up, decide on how big you want your pocket, how deep you want your pocket. There's so many variations. So the way I'm doing it, as far as the construct, that's what you'll want to do, but you can, you can make it so many different ways. So then you fold the flap, Couple little tricks that I do is when I fold a flap over for an envelope, I like to leave a gap here between the flap that you're using for your pocket, so that you can fit a tag in there without it butting up against the crease. That's just my preference. Some people don't do it that way, and that's perfectly fine. All right, so there is the one little quick envelope. I'm going to show you how to glue it together with this second one. So again, in theory, you've double paged, glued two together for strength. You don't have to. If you don't need it to be a heavier project, then that's fine. Sometimes it's nice to keep them light, especially if you're putting them inside a journal on one of your page spreads. So again, I left a gap here. Okay, so now I'm going to glue. Where did I put my glue? I'm going to glue the edges down here. If you're a little bit fussy with how you want your font, if you want your font to be upright when you fold your pages up, then you would flip it upside down and fold it up. And then you'll notice the font will be properly placed if that's how you like it. It doesn't matter to me because I always end up embellishing the panels and stuff, so you don't even see the font generally. Okay, so I'm going to glue up this side. And again, if you were going to sew, then before you glue up your side, you decide where you want to sew, what panels you want to look or have the sewn look. So you see here, I did all this kind of before I glued up my pages. Remember, there's 4-page book pages right now. So, but before I glued anything, I just went around different panels before I folded them up, and I did some sewing. It does add a pretty look, I think. It gives it some nice texture and character. Makes it a little more bulky because of your sewing stitch, of course. I used my favorite stitch. Probably a little bulkier than a typical straight stitch, just because there's more space used with the thread. But it fits perfectly and it lays flat, so I didn't mind doing it that way. So just something to keep in mind. Now, this is where you're going to make it come together. So you could do it this way, where your flaps fold out to the left, or you could turn it to the right. However you like to do your projects, it's up to you. So I'm going to take the first book page that I have glued together, and here I'm going to just quickly ink the crease so that you can see where you might want to have it glued. Okay, that's better. So what I did is, again, I never butt anything up against a crease because you want it to fold nicely. You can also leave whatever, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, whatever you want. But just keep in mind, if you're going to make this, if you're going to sew in a signature, yeah, you want to leave a bit of space. So all you're going to do is, this is at the back. So the second book page that you folded up, open the flap, and it's going to be glued to the very back of the first book page. Okay. So let's just do that. See how easy it is? I just want to make sure that you don't glue up this way, because that's the opening of your pocket. Okay, let's see. Now I'm not going to butt it up against the crease, and because I inked it, it's easier to see, so you want to maybe do that for yourself as well. Try to get it, oh dear, try to get it as evenly placed as you can, because the back pocket, see, it's going to fold up, so your flaps are glued, but the front flap is not, of course, and then you're going to fold it up under, and then here's your back pocket. And that's it. Simple, simple, simple. Hopefully I'm not, did I do this too fast? I hope not, but here's your pocket. You can decorate your panel, put in a tag. So you open it up and you've got one pocket here and one pocket here. So that's it. Simple. So now I'm going to take my prepared one. I didn't do any decorating yet. Thought we would do that together. Set these aside. Maybe what I'll do is I'll show you, for people that are new to this whole paper crafting, just for ideas. Now this is a larger one, of course, as you noticed. It's going to be much wider than a regular 9x6 journal. But that's okay, because whenever you do make flaps, you can, let's just say this is one of my page spreads or one of the pages in my signature. You could glue the flap to the outside of the page, and it makes a nice feature on the page. You could just, if you want, glue only on the upper and bottom side, so you have a pocket here. And when you open it up, you've got your pockets here, and it will cascade outward. So that kind of, am I in frame here? Yeah, so you could do it that way if you wanted. Kind of nice. Or you could just simply glue it on your page like this if you want. Probably this way, because if you're gonna cascade it, if you're gonna open it up and it cascades out, you want to make sure that it opens away from your book spine, obviously. Or you don't use it in your journal and you send them out for Happy Meal and whatnot. So that's it. Thought I'd just show you that idea. Okay, so I have already done some pre-cutting. This is going to be a Christmas themed little book page journal. So we're going to start with the front. So I've done some cutting, I've pre-inked. We're just going to be ready to go as far as the decorating. So let's do that. It's just, yeah, this kit, I cut up and I used it right away for this particular book pocket. This kit's from Ruby and Pearl. It's so adorable. I will link this kit in below if you're interested to get it for yourself, but it's just so cute. I actually bought, like, I think I've purchased this 3 times because I'm also working on a journal using this, parts of this kit anyway. It's a bit early for me to be doing anything Christmas. I'm not one of those people that generally starts working on Christmas at this point, but that's okay. Like I said, it was a cute kit, so I thought it would be fun to do with you guys. So I'm just gluing her down. And I always like to, I say this every single time, but there's always new people. So, but what I like to do is I always like to leave a little bit of the border of whatever panels I'm covering and whatnot. So we've got that for the top. We'll do a bit of decorating yet. I'm going to use this one here for this is the flap you see, and it's also the flap that ends up at the very bottom. So let's give this one some glue. So I've had a very interesting situation happen today. So last week, or maybe the week before last, I can't remember. The days are just melding together. I sent out a pile of packages to various people, giveaway winners and whatnot. And one gal, I sent 2 packages to one gal in particular. And I guess just in the busyness of that day, I don't know how I overlooked it, but one of her packages came back to me today. Oh, it was so discouraging. I forgot to put her address. Mine was on it, but hers was not. So note to self, do not forget the recipient's address on her package. And I didn't put both of her packages together because the bulk, it was going to be too bulky. But it ended up costing me twice now to send it, but that's okay. She's worth it. I just thought that was funny. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've had packages returned because maybe people move or whatnot, but never because I forgot the address. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is put this here. Isn't this adorable? This is not from Ruby and Pearl. These little, oh yeah, and this one is not from Ruby and Pearl. Okay, so there is two here. If you are part of Scrimping with Mommy, Scrimping with Mommy, I think is her name, Facebook group, and her Instagram and whatnot. She puts out freebies every week, especially for the month of September. I think it's once a week she's putting something out. Generous, isn't it? This community is incredibly generous. I just love it. All right, so I want some of the bow to hang over the flap. Actually, let's just put it right there. Okay. And I made sure, oh, I didn't make sure, but I didn't want to glue that little piece there, so. And then I thought we would stick this here before it glues down. Okay, note to self, do this part first. I want just the word holly sticking out. Okay, now I'm going to glue the very top part here. Yeah, so I have so many different sized books. Big books, small books, wide books, narrow books, thick papered books, old books, new books, you name it. And for people that don't have printers and don't buy printables and whatnot, you don't need to. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked with printables because there's so many cute images that artists make and create and put out there, and sometimes I can't resist. But really what I mostly enjoy doing is using up legit old scraps that you have at home, whether it's your book pages, junk mail. Those are the funnest projects, because you know what, it's because that really, I think, shows your creativity, because it's how you're using discarded stuff or just book pages in general that, you know, we bring to life. I love it. Okay, so this flap, I think we're done. I might, you know, I like to do a little bit of, I might do that here quickly. Yeah, just to give it a bit of, excuse me, a little extra layering with pieces of whatever I've cut up previously. All right, let's see, what was I going to use this here? No, I wasn't. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the inside. And I want to make sure that it's a little bit, you know what, I'll keep the flap up. Otherwise, parts of this isn't going to make it into the video. Okay, so I have some frog in my throat. Oh, does that ever happen? You start a video and the frogs appear. Okay, so I've cut up, this one is Ruby and Pearl, part of her kit. It's just so pretty. Oh, wrong way, Colleen. Okay, that's the top one. So I'll move this up. I'm going to assume this middle piece here is in view. Okay, I think we're good here. Let's see, what was I going to do? Was it this way or this way? I think it was this way. So it's actually a little chilly where I am today, and it's overcast. It's, you know, not very bright outside. So I noticed on those days Videos are a challenge because there's so many shadows. I'm sure you guys already can tell. So make sure you're not gluing against the crease. Okay, perfect. Cute little pocket there. I'll put this flap down and I'll move this up a bit. And let's put this panel here. So you can see how it's all one. If you had it all together, you'd be able to tell that it was one printable cut up. And I'm using cardstock. I printed it onto some cardstock, just again for strengthening the book pages. It isn't necessary, but for this one I wanted it to be well put together. So I also decided what I would do, because I want to bring, so there's a little bit of greenery here, but I want to bring a little extra. So here's an offcut of the side of the sheet that I cut up, and I thought, you know what, let's just glue it right here. Just for, see how that, you probably can't see it all in frame, but how it all blends. It just kind of, I don't know, I do weird things like this, so we'll add it. And we're going to sew in a little signature too. I want to show you how I do that. Okay, see how that is? Pretty, pretty, pretty. And let's see, we'll go to the back and we'll cover the back pocket. It's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me one bit. So I have cut out this, A Christmas Story. Thought that was nice for Christmas theme. It's one of Ruby and Pearl's sheets that came with the kit. I think there's 15, 16 sheets to this kit. It's wonderful. All right, so place it right there. And keeping in mind too that I'm going to reinforce it before I sew in a signature. So some of this might even get covered because I'm going to use some fabric before I sew in the signature. All right, so this is very pretty. Look at this tag, the Christmas ball. Beautiful. Now this was from Scrimpingmommy, which I will link her below. And this is another gorgeous tag. I'm not sure if I'm going to put both of them in here, so we'll turn it around. Just give you an idea again. The panel flips up. You can even add an extra pocket here if you want. I don't want it to be too bulky because I am sewing in a little signature. And let's see, let's put these tags inside. So this is a beautiful tag from Scrimpingmommy. It says Holly Berries. And I'm going to put it this way because I like this part to peek out. And then there's this tag, Bon Annie, and I looked it up and it means good year. So obviously a new year wish. So I'm going to put her right there. You could put as many tags as you want. And that is that. I could possibly, see I have this here. Beautiful. I could, you know, embellish it up. Oh, that's pretty too. I like that. Let's do it. Let's add it right now. So there's a bit of fussy cutting too, which is fun. I love to fussy cut. I've done so much of it over the last few years since I started junk journaling. So I'm decently quick at it now. Oh, we'll just put it this way. That's pretty. Okay, so now let's do the signature. So I just put some pages together from the kit, printed off on lightweight copy paper. Just, you know, just a few images, and then the blank sides for journaling from the Christmas kit. I'm not sure why I took out these. I put them in for a reason. So this, of course, we do when we're going to sew in a signature. I'm only going to put 2 because there's so few pages. I probably don't even need any. So now we want to make sure, here's my pokey tool. This is really a basic little signature, so there's not a whole lot of work that needs to go into it, but I do want to, like I said, cover it for strength right along here. And I grabbed some nice holly. Yeah, so it's probably going to, yeah, I'm going to be covering up the Christmas. Oh, well, that's okay. No worries. So that's going to go there because I want to strengthen where I'm sewing in the signature. And I'm just going to apply my glue right now. This is Fabri-Tac. I'm going to spread it out here. Otherwise, sometimes if you don't use something to spread the glue, it can look a bit clumpy on your fabric. Okay. So that automatically, when I put the needle and thread through, it's going to be a little stronger. And just make sure you're not doing anything upside down, because oh my goodness, I am famous for that. Okay, I'm up right here. So this is, I want it to go right here, and I think, yeah, right there. Okay, so basically now we're just going to poke the holes after I needle my glue. What are you guys working on today? Doing anything Christmassy? So let's see. I'm going to put some here. Actually, I'm just going to do it right at the same time as I've got it in here, because it's such a little signature that it's pretty basic. And let's see, got the hole here, here, and spatially, this should do it right there. Okay, so I've got my needle and my thread ready to go. So let's just do it. Through the middle, back up through the back. I'm going to go through the middle again. That's just how I do my signature, my pamphlet stitch. And let's hope that doing this shoddy job puts me through. Where's my, see, with fabric, it's hard to see where the, here, let's see. I can't see that hole. I think it's there. Come on, get in there. There we go. Not too bad. All right, so you just make sure that it's pulled nice and snug. And you go underneath. You want the thread on both sides of your middle piece there. And now we're going to tie it. I like using wax thread because the knots tie very, not too often you're going to hear that wax thread comes apart. It's got a nice grip to it. Okay, off come the, I might leave this here and I might add some dangles to it. Oops, this goes this way. All right, so that's kind of Christmassy there. Well, it is Christmassy. It adds a nice little touch to it. Open it up. have our little signature and our pockets. Isn't that cute? So cute. So simple. Very simple. I have some of these cards here and or tags left. I'll probably just do a bit more embellishing off camera just to give you guys an idea of what this looks like and how nice and flat it lays. I like that too. I have like all kinds of things. I got ribbon I could use or whatnot. We'll see. But that's it for today, you guys. So I hope you'll grab some book pages and have yourself a go at this. Yeah, there's 101 different ways to use up book pages, possibly even more than that. But the possibilities and ideas are absolutely endless. So I hope you enjoyed this. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do right now? Just feeling in the moment, because that's what I do. I am going to, right now, do a little giveaway for somebody that already has their name in this little pot of mine from my previous giveaway. Let's make sure I'm in picture here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just draw a name. I just decided this is going to go out to somebody, because why not? All right, so sorry if I'm not giving anybody that hasn't put or hadn't put their name in for my previous giveaway. This isn't obviously planned or anything, and I have shared many times that if you're part of my channel, I do these random giveaways, so I'll do more yet, and there'll be more planned so that you have an opportunity as well to put your name in this little tin. But I keep drawing names from it. If you've already won a giveaway, your name isn't in the tin, obviously. But, oh, look at that. Shauna Domes. My girlfriend, she lives in Edmonton. That's great. Congratulations, Shauna. This one's coming to you, my friend. So I thank you all for watching. I hope that you're going to do something crafty today. And yeah, so we'll see you soon. Bye for now.